Welcome to the 80s.
So, you were a teacher in the 80s, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you teach?
My first teaching job was at Idaho State University in Pocatello, Idaho.
And what did you teach there?
I taught English literature the same as I do here, and writing classes.
Okay. And what was the difference between your experience then and your experience teaching now with the students?
It's interesting because the environment there is very different. I mean, I'm from Philadelphia, so I went from a large metropolitan urban area to a very, very rural community. Pocatello is about 50,000 people. It's surrounded by the Rocky Mountains. So we were about 4,500 feet up. The town was only about 6 miles long and 3 miles wide. So that experience was very, very different. But when I came to LaSalle, remember that was my first teaching job, so my first experience was with Idaho. When I came to LaSalle, one of the things I discovered that in sort of curious ways, the students weren't that much different. By which I mean most of the students at Idaho State University were first-generation college students. Many of them came from families whose parents and grandparents had never gone to college. And so they were very enthusiastic, they were eager to learn, so they were really fun students to teach. When I came to LaSalle, even though the urban environment is very different, I discovered, at least in 1987, it may have changed since then, but when I first came here in '87, I discovered that many of those urban students nevertheless came from similar backgrounds. Many of them were first-generation college students whose parents or grandparents did not have the opportunity to go to college. And so I found that same kind of enthusiasm for learning in both sets of students, which always makes it a fun way to teach.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you notice a difference between like students then and students now, considering like technology and how the job market's changed?
The technology, there's no doubt about it. Students now enter the classroom having been exposed to the internet and technology almost from the day they were born. It's second nature to them. Things that then they had to take 2 semesters of college classes to learn how to do, they know how to do now when they're in grade school. So yeah, the difference in their technological know-how is light years